Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into the first thing because I think it's relevant for us and for eBay. My number one goal is always to feed Netta and then the cats and then me next, and to make sure that we're all healthy. We are potentially probably losing our Medicaid. It all depends on if the bill goes back to the House and if it gets approved there. I suspect that's what's going to happen. I think that's what politicians want. I think that's what the people want right now. Can't do anything about it. So what are we going to do? I don't know. Our next option is to, like, we've already pre-looked into basically private health insurance that we can purchase. Normally they're like $500, $600, $7 a month. Plus, before they start paying out, you have to spend usually some like money out of pocket, right? Like 5,000 or something. It's ridiculous. It's really crazy. I'm the type of person, literally since I've been 18, I've always lived paycheck to paycheck. I've almost barely ever had more than $1,000 in the bank. So the idea of paying a bunch of money, an insane amount of money per month, to then also have to pay $5,000 in pocket. I have to laugh about it because it is actually that ridiculous. Like, I literally couldn't do that. So like the we'll have to see what we're gonna figure out from there. It is what it is, but I've never really relied on anyone but myself almost my whole life, specifically like financially. I had to work through college. I remember I've even told Annetta this sometimes. Like, I remember I used to do full-time college. I had to commute, so there was like about an hour and a half drive back and forth. I was doing like 40-ish hours of college. I was doing like 40 to 50 hours of work at a different job. I'll eventually get to that at some point in a different video. So I was literally just constantly doing something. I remember I used to have like one day a month to like do something fun for myself, like play a video game or something. But that's just like how I've been financially. Like I said, less than $1,000 in the bank. You just kind of have to do what you have to do. Another way to get better health insurance is usually working for a corporation, because corporations get these big deals where, because so many ex-employees are going to be spending money with them, you get a good deal. That's actually, I'm not going to work for a corporation. That just doesn't make sense to me. I'll get into it in another video, but the really short answer is I've made companies millions of dollars in profits, and then I end up getting what, $22,000, $32,000. So to me, I just don't want to go that route. But yeah, I know I'll hear like get a real job type of thing. Heard it all my whole life. When I had a real job, I was still had less than $1,000 in the bank. Still was having issues. So I am on my own. It's me and eBay. That it is what it is. I definitely want. I would rather struggle with myself than to be struggling and helping. Literally, no joke, other companies make millions of dollars. I just value myself way higher than that. So we'll have to see and figure this out. How this relates to eBay is our full income. We don't have any money coming from anywhere else. So the only thing that I can do is basically list more, do a better job. It's basically up to me and eBay now. Like I said, I've never really relied on anyone or anything before. But now it's literally just me and eBay to figure this out. Also, today was a sad sales day. I'll get into it. Normally I do a what sold, so there might be new people watching this, but yeah, I'm going to go into what we sold today. It was a lower sales day because it is the first. Rent, people have to pay rent, so we generally see lower sales. Not always, but yeah, I would say generally I'll be like, oh, why was today so slow? I'll be like, oh, okay, it's like near the first, right, where people have to pay a bunch of rent. But yeah, there's no need for like a pity party. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about it for sure. It's fine. I'm used to it. Like I said, when you deal with financial strain your whole life, you kind of just get numb to the noise, if that makes sense. It does suck. We are going to, like I said, the idea of paying $600, $700, $500 a month for both Annette and I, and then also paying $5,000 out of pocket for both. I always have to laugh because, like, if you actually just like say it out loud or think about it, when like we literally have like less than $1,000 most of our lives out of our, it sounds like a joke, even though it's serious. Give me a second. Oh man, it is what it is, right? But yeah, because I've never relied on anyone, it does suck. We'll see. There's no real way for us to like look up right now, like how we're going to be affected in 2027. Like, maybe I can call like the person who's providing our health insurance right now. We've had a couple of doctor changes right now. So some people have been already preemptively, like doctors have not wanting to be on Medicaid. So I'll keep getting mail that'll be like, oh, your primary physician has changed or something like that. I've only used it one time, so I do have some like small issues. I maybe want to get some blood tests and maybe a checkup before everything goes belly up for us, or at least for our Medicaid. So I definitely want to. I have to plan that soon. All right, enough of the doom and gloom and the politics, which there's just so much, at least for me, political fatigue all over the place. I'm gonna go into our low sales. I have a weird setup right now. Normally, it's at our table where I do like the normal videos. That I was listing there yesterday. There's actually more cleaning here that's been done. So for people that have watched, it looks like way less stuff all over the place. I do list stuff. I'm like listing like 40 items daily, and I do keep doing it. Not 40 items every day. I've been working also on some like board game bits and pieces. Takes like some more counting, and I'm just very dedicated to just getting it done. So I think there was a day where I only got like 20 listings done. Which is not my normal. These goals, I used to be really tight on my goals, like, oh, I got to do this every day. And then as the time's gone by, my like goals have shifted. And then I'm just really like, I'm also learning a lot when I'm getting these like incomplete board games or these parts. I'm learning more about the board games, like the vintage ones I don't know specifically as much about. Let me give you an example, like Advanced Squad Leader, these war games and stuff. I know that they were always good, and I've sold like them complete or incomplete before, but now I'm like actually digging a little bit more into it. And I have to look up like rule books to find out like what pieces are missing or and what's included, what's not there. I've been like messaging people on like forums and other YouTube channels for people that are like experts on these. So it's been fun for me to delve deeper into the board game world. There's a lot to learn about. Even for me being in it for a long time, there's still just like a lot of knowledge to gather. So I find that fun. All right, but sorry, I'm rambling a lot. I have a weird scenario. So I have my PC up over here. So normally I'm using like my phone for the prices. So the first thing I sold was Iron Wind. These are clear flying miniature bases. So I got a bunch of these. I actually did a video about this where I went through a big box of like a collection of miniature bits and pieces I bought. So these are going to be stands, I believe, for some kind of like military or like sci-fi like spaceship game or something. So these are just the stands where it'll be a base, and then you put a little like stand there, and then you put your spaceship, and it's supposed to denote that it's flying on a tabletop, right? So you don't want to have like just like a spaceship on the ground. People want to visually see that it's flying up there. This ended up going for $14 plus shipping. All right, next up is going to be this right here. This is a set of 6 Risk pieces, or not pieces, like the player pieces. You got the yellow, gray, green, black, red, and blue. There's a lot of different types of pieces. I'm not like a super expert, but I want to say these look like they're from like 2008, 2009, based off of like how the pieces look. Some of the older ones will use like the Roman numerals. Those are some of the older ones. Some of like the middle-aged ones at this point. This is still it's crazy because I used to play a lot of Risk. So when I see this is like what I think of Risk. But I know at this point, I'm just old enough where I know this is like middle-aged, even though I want to call this like modern. The modern ones are really poorly done, I think, in my opinion, which is why I sell a lot of the Roman numerals, and then I sell these ones with the cannon, the infantry with his bayonets like up there, and then there's also the cavalry. Do they have a sword? I don't think they have a sword. No, it's just like a cavalry general holding his horsey right there. I think people can picture it in their mind's eye. Well, yeah, this set of 6, nothing too crazy, $9.45. I remember I got like 50 or so sets for like, it was basically like $1 of different Risk pieces. I even did a video. It's a super old video. Oh, my computer fell asleep. Super old video down in the, below in the channel somewhere. I would even have to dig for it. I don't know what title I did, but I did talk about how I got a big bag and how they would eventually sell. I'm down to like only a few sets since then. Like I said, $9, $10, $12. I sold some for 14. It just depends on like what year they're from. Oh, also people like the containers. Like these ones are pretty good. They say the Risk on them. So like people care about this stuff. And then also people play Risk games where they don't attack a lot, so they need more bits and pieces. They need more of the player pieces. Risk is a really fun one. One of my favorite board games is Risk Legacy. Such a good game. All right, but I didn't sell it today. I do have it listed. All right, next up is going to be these Mayan Warrior plastic miniatures right here. They're not branded. Someone put Mayan right there. So there's, I think, like 42 of them. They're pretty well done. It's probably from like Revel or Artillery. I don't know how to say the company. I need to like look it up one day so I don't sound stupid. But yeah, it's gonna be one of these. I don't know if they're like for wargaming or if someone's just like you can paint these up, you can use them for different games. But yeah, these end up going for $14. Got a bunch of those a bit ago. Sorry, I have to scroll down. All right, only 2 more items. Like I said, it's the first of the month, usually less sales. So I sold this Pokemon Lucario V-Star little Elite Trainer Box promo card yesterday. I had one more left. I relisted it. I forgot that when, like, in the trading card game world, when a card usually sells, that probably means either someone really wants the card in their paint market price, or that means the price increased on the card, and then yours was cheap. It was cheaper than what the current price was. Like a bunch of people bought it, right? So, for example, the other one I sold was like I think $6 or $6.50, something like around there. This one sold for $9.99. But when I relisted it, I forgot to check what the current price was. I think it's now like $11. I use TCG Player, which is interesting because eBay bought TCG Player, so they're kind of one of the same and on topic right now. But yeah, the other thing that I like to talk about these cards is they have this little film right here. I generally like to open up the film on any cards that are packaged like this because when people are carrying them around, this film can get caught on something, and when the film gets caught, or this plastic package, it bends, and then it can bend the corners. I've seen it happen lots of times. People generally like to put them in trading cards in penny sleeves, the cheaper ones, and then also within a top loader, the hard one. That's like ideally. And then the people that really care about the cards, they spend money to get them graded. Then you get like an official little like plaque looking thing that's like usually not indestructible, but it's a lot better than a top loader. Top loader is pretty good. All right, so $10 for that. I forgot to check the price. I missed out on $1. I don't care. I would have actually sold that for 10 even if it was going for 11. That's what I think about that. All right. All right, the last item that sold for the day, these are HO. These are, we sold them before, the Prizer or Preezer. I'm not sure how to say it. These are going to be like train village civilians, people and stuff. They also have like accessories and buildings. And then I got a bunch of these villagers and train stuff at auction many years ago. I listed it probably, I think I actually listed all of this stuff last December, and then we had some of the bigger trains like sell for like $100 or something. Like people love trains. We've also gone to estate sales where you go into like whatever, a man cave, and then or like a whole room, and like they'll have like a whole village running. Really cool collectible stuff. I always like it when people have like cool collections. It just kind of is really interesting to me. We have like a board game collection, so that's fun for us. I get to see that every day. We do use and have played most of them. But it's fun seeing what other people collect, which is just a part of the fun of eBay. But yeah, these particular right here, these villagers are going to be cops and robbers, I believe. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, literally just cops and robbers right here. I think when I like use the reverse image search, that's what I end up finding, like what the Prizer company called these. But yeah, these end up selling for $10.70. All right, that's everything. But good news is I always try to look at the bright side of things. With less items selling, means I have more time to organize and list. Like I said, I was listing a bunch of Fantastin metal miniatures. I'm gonna go through and organize some more of these like boxes of wargaming, like chit tokens and rules and stuff like that. So I'm excited for listing. More time to list is always the only upside of like low sales, but also I record and show you guys all the sales in a weird time. It's usually between like noon and like 3 p.m. or something. So this isn't all the stuff that sold yesterday. This is just kind of like, since we recorded yesterday, this is like the second half of yesterday, and then you already saw the first half on yesterday's what sold video, so you guys see it at a weird time because I think we have like 1 or 2 days shipping and handling. If something sells at like 1 in the morning, we have to ship it the next day. Yeah, I think we have 1 day, so it have to be shipped the next day, but that changes over at 2 a.m. So our whole bar graph for yesterday was like 200 and something dollars. That does include shipping. I understand there's costs and stuff. Like I've been doing this for multiple years. I understand that's just like the gross number, but it's not as devastating as these 5 or 6 items look. But definitely I would have liked, I think we had either 1 or none overnight sale, which is super rare. But like I said, it's July 1st or 2nd right now. Sorry, people had to, these are sales from the 1st, so that people had to pay for rent. But yeah, it was the Iron Wind Clear Flying Base. These actually sold when I was at the storage unit. I am working out a deal with someone they want to buy 6 items as a combo order. Invoices are really weird with eBay right now, where if we send an offer, they send a counter offer, and then we accept, they're still considered on the market or for sale. I hope that's like eventually going to get fixed on eBay's end. makes invoices really hard. Because they're still for sale, we don't see them in waiting for payments. Let me just give an example. Okay, so I send whatever someone wants to buy whatever my glasses, right? I list my glasses for $10. I see someone's watching it. I send them a let's say a $9 offer, right? And then they come back with 7. They now did a counter to my counter. I'll accept the 7. This is still for sale for $10 with offer on the shop from eBay's rules. It is not under waiting payment for $7. And that's how a seller sends invoices, is in the waiting for payment section is where you can send them. So it's crazy. Like we don't even see on our end that it's like sold for 7. They would have to buy it. And then if it's a combo order, we have to refund all the excess shipping, which can be problems for many ways. Like someone, imagine, imagine like because you're talking to technically a stranger. Imagine someone saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll refund all your shipping on your 20 items. That's like $100 of excess shipping. Don't worry, I got you." Like we do have good feedback, but still, I understand why people would not want to do that. They would rather receive an invoice. They might not be a seller on eBay and not knowing that this is like an issue or a feature. I don't know if it's a feature or a bug. I think they had it as a feature. I'm not sure where it stands right now, but I definitely know it's frustrating for sending invoices. So we're talking a deal with someone that wants 7 items. There was another person that got 2 items from me, and then they wanted me to break down another lots for miniatures. They're getting these really cool painted miniatures. I spent up on them on auction. Really well done. They're like skirmish miniatures. I think they're 15 or 20 millimeter. Well done painted. They're based, but they wanted 2 of my lots, which we already accepted offers on, and then there was a third one that they wanted me to break apart and sell an individual figure. Normally, I don't break apart my lots, but because they're already getting a couple of things, they made it nice and easy through communication. It was very easy to like split apart that listing. I like to make new listings for stuff. Like whenever you're breaking apart stuff, you want to be careful, just because like I think the rules or terms of service for eBay is basically like everything in the picture in your description overall is like what you need to ship. Even if there's messages, I'm not sure like what gray area that lands in, but I don't want to have messages that say like, "Oh, we're just selling this one miniature from this lot of miniatures," and then have issues with that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I made a new listing for that, or actually Annetta helped me. I asked her if she could help me, and she made a new listing for that, but they haven't gotten back to me. Maybe they missed the messages and stuff like that. Lots of stuff going on with like potential sales. It is worth messaging and communicating with people. We get a lot of feedback for a good communication, and then it gets a bunch of good feedback for her packaging. So yeah, I want to go through that one day. I'll do a little video about all the nice feedback we get. There's a lot of people that send kind of funny feedback, like it's like actually funny, like they're trying to like they give the personalized feedback. It's great. All right, that's everything. A lot of rambling. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone's gonna have a good month.